Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one is very late, so apologies for that. We will be quickly talking about team list relevant news. There's only 5 games this round, so yeah, it won't be super long. And given this video is coming out about 5 hours after team list, we won't dive into it too much. I'll talk about my trade plans, how my team's shaping up for this week. I've updated my buy planner, which is part of the reason why this video is out so late. So yeah, I'll go over all of that. I know it's not super relevant to you guys when I'm talking about my team. So if you don't like this sort of content, just let me know and I'll phase away from it. But I personally do like when other content creators show their team. It does like somewhat help me, I guess, like looking at that. And I think it's interesting just to see like from a different team's perspective. So I probably won't get any niche videos out this week. It's a bit of a tough week for it. I'll get the usual like trades, sells, stuff like that out. If you guys have any video ideas that you'd like to see this week, just let me know and I'll try cater for that. I should have plenty of time on Thursday, a little bit of time tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, I'll try to get out whatever you guys want to see. It's a little bit of a tougher week for content creation in a smaller buy round with only 5 games. So yeah, just let me know. I'm always open. Please consider subscribing. And if there's anything you want to see, just let me know. We'll get over to the team list news. Nothing super crazy this round. So I'll go off one by one through the games. Nathan Lawson and King Tongi are named. Pretty standard, like we thought that was going to be the case, especially with Chewy Pilotu injured, but yeah, like it's good to see them named. They did lose by 50 last week, so you were never too certain, but those 2 cashies are still there. Probably wouldn't play King Tongia or Lawson, to be fair, if you don't have to, but they're good loop options given they play in the first game. So I personally will be looping Nathan Lawson. I don't have King Tongia, but yeah, I think they're perfectly good loop options, and then you can reassess your mid-round trades after that. Hamish Stewart on the bench, so not super ideal for his minutes, but I don't think he loses too much. They do have a 3-forward bench plus Little, so yeah, I think he probably does get some stronger minutes. They don't really have anyone to cover the edge, so it means most of those guys will be playing in the middle, but he should get 40 to 45 minutes, potentially even slightly more. And his PPM is so good. So yeah, he's another good loop option. I wouldn't be playing him in your starting 13. If you do have him, certainly wouldn't be picking him up. But yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned if you do have him. Couchman's still on the edge. Jaden Sewer's nowhere to be seen, not even on the extended bench. So yeah, he's out another week. We should see Couchman play 80 on that edge. I don't see any other option in that team who's going to move to the edge. I'll show you the team quickly. There's no one really. We might see Luciano Leilua play 80, even though they don't like doing that lately. But really, who's going to move to the edge there? Maybe DeBellin. He's played a little bit in his career. Like these 2 props aren't going to. Stewart, Tonga, and Sele aren't edges. So yeah, would expect both of these guys to play 80 on the edge or very close to. I don't see Couchman playing any middle, but that's not concerning. Like he makes 50 plus in base anyway and has that upside of offloads and tackle breaks and stuff. So yeah, I'm probably going to either captain or vice captain Couchman. I'd like to captain him, but I will see what everyone else is doing. So I kind of don't want to go against the grain when my team is so strong this week, but I think Couchman's a good pod captaincy option given Kalamatangi's probably going to be dominated with like 60-70%. Not a great bench for Cookie though, unfortunately. I'm not too concerned. Like I still think he does play a little bit in that middle, but I would have liked to see an edge on the bench like Raymond Fatara Mariner. I don't know if he's out or not. I'm not too sure. He's not fantasy. Oh, actually, yeah, he had that asthma attack, so yeah, that's probably why he's out. But yeah, I would have liked to see someone on the edge there, which means Luciano Leilua would miss a couple of minutes. He still might. But yeah, it's not a great bench given there's 3 middle forwards there, so I don't know where Cookie is going to play, but I would say they find some reason to play him in the middle. They obviously got dominated last week when he moved to centre, and it's not because of that, but that might factor into their thinking, and they won the 2 games prior when Cook did play a bit of middle and played 70-75 minutes. So yeah, not overly concerned. I think he's the best hooker this round anyway, apart from Brayley, who I don't think is necessarily fantasy relevant. So yeah, not concerned. I would have brought him in either way, even with this bench, if I hadn't got him last week. So yeah, it is what it is. Jazz Tavanga's on the bench. So like, there's no real decent good options for hooker this week. Cook hopefully plays around that 60-65 mark as a floor. And yeah, I think he's still a fine option. That's about it from that game. Really good loop options. I'd be making sure you are using some loops if you can this week. Even if you only have 13, like me, it just means you can facilitate some mid-round trades, and your Dragons and Sharks are the best players to do that for. Titans versus Manly. So yeah, as I mentioned, Jazz Tavunga's on the bench. It's the exact same as last week, and he ended up starting and played half-decent minutes. I think it was 50, 55 minutes. So every chance of that happening, I'd say that's for Siwa Takiaho. If that does happen, personally, I think it will. I think if they were going to give him a rest, like that's why we kind of thought he was on the bench last week. If it was going to happen, it was probably going to happen last week. I don't see why they'd do it this week. But again, I don't see why you'd name him on the bench twice in a row if you're not going to do it. But we see teams do it all the time. So I'd say it's 50-50 if he starts or not. Either way, his minutes shouldn't be too affected. His points per minutes is huge, and it's better in lower minutes. So even if he plays 40, 45 minutes, you can reasonably expect him to score 40 or 45 points. So yeah, chugging away at a 1 point per minute, his minutes aren't that concerning. So yeah, I think he should get a 40, 45 either way. Tommy Turbo returns. Probably wouldn't pick him up. I don't think it's a really good round to pick up mid-ranges, or there's not too many cashies available either. So I'd probably be doing guns or nothing this week for the most part. He is very cheap. If you think he has the potential to get back to a gun, sure. I know Longy picked him up a couple of weeks ago, and that didn't work out too well. But yeah, we know his injury risk. It is concerning. It's his first game back. Yeah, it's a soft draw, but I probably wouldn't be doing it personally. I think there's better options out there around his price point. Maybe not in wing or fullback, but if you want like a Walshy or Ponga over the next couple of weeks, probably not Ponga now that he's still playing Origin, but you've also got Jamie Humphreys, stuff like that. Jerome Hughes is obviously 150k more, but still in that mid-range price bracket. And I think they're better options that have more of a chance of becoming a keeper and not as many red flags. So yeah, I'd be avoiding Tommy this week. But if you need someone around that price point, or you need to take a flyer, then I think, go ahead. But yeah, if you have to be very non-risk averse to do that sort of thing. Cleese Haas is lock, which is weird. I don't really see what's going to happen here. Like Randall's not really a lock. I don't really know too much about these guys, I'll be completely honest. It's a very weak bench by the looks. I know that some of them are half decent, but I don't know where they play or anything. I guess Cleese Haas is going to be playing lock. There's a chance Randall and Haas switch, but I don't know. Either way, none of them are really fantasy relevant. Maybe a couple picked up Randall last week. Didn't work out too well, but his minutes were strong. So yeah, no one really I'd be picking up from the Titans apart from Jaden Campbell, who should be looked at as a pretty good option, but look at your buy planner for that. Because Titans only have one buy, and that's round 18. But yeah, and Fermor, sorry, if you don't have him. He is slightly worse than like your Herbies, Kirazes, but yeah, he's missed Origin. I think he's a good option as well. Just doesn't play round 18 as well. And then David Fafita, not even on the extended squad. So we heard last week, I think it was, that the Titans medical staff said he was ready, and he disagreed with that. So I don't know what's going on there. He's not named at all. People are talking about him trying to get out of his contract early. Wouldn't be surprised. We've been hearing it for a couple of years, but yeah, he's not named. I don't think he'll get into fantasy relevancy at all this season. Maybe towards the back end of the season, but yeah, Desi seems to not like him either way. So yeah, we can just wait and see on that one. Knights versus Roosters. Nafahu White returns, so that's good. They were targeting around 15, so we thought that would happen. But if you did hold on to him, then well done. He should have a decent round. He's back starting, so I think he's starting in 8. Starting 8. So yeah, that's good. It's a little bit of a weaker pack. So you got Fiketti as your other prop, and yeah, like you're missing a few guys like Angus Crichton, Lindsay Collins. So I think his expected minutes are pretty high. Napwich is back, but he's been named a couple of times and still hasn't returned. So we'll see. And it's a very, very weird bench. Like we know Sandon Smith's back. Hugo Savalas still named, which is good. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't be, but yeah, he is named. So if you kept him, that's good. Not really sure what happens. Like I thought there was a chance Sandon Smith would play a little bit of hooker, given they don't have a big minute hooker with Watson out as well. But then they've named Zach Docker-Clay on the bench as well as starting Iolu. So yeah, super random bench. Maybe ZD ZDC plays some middle. I don't know what the other two are like. I don't think Sandon Smith's capable, obviously, especially in his first game back. Hugo Savala's a bigger body, so maybe he plays a little bit of lock, and Radley moves into prop. But yeah, super weird bench. I think White's expected minutes are good based on that, same as Radley. Yeah, I don't know. It's such a strange bench. I wouldn't be surprised if something happened, but I'm pretty sure Ethan King's like a half as well, is he not? That might be made up. He's a winger fullback, so yeah, super weird. Yeah, don't know what's going on there. I wouldn't be surprised to see it change, but I don't know who they're going to bring in. Like Makatoa's 19th man and he's a small minute forward. So yeah, not sure what's going on, but I'd say if you have White, you can expect a pretty good score, or at least good minutes for the most part. Yeah, really rattled off those in one pretty much. So yeah, Cowboys versus Dolphins, not a ton of fantasy relevance. There's heaps of changes for the Cows, but yeah, I wouldn't be interested in too many of them, even though they do play around 15 and 18. Obviously, Scotty Drinkwater's a great pickup this week. He does have a little bit of a higher break even still, but he's just priced so low, like a 68 break even. But like, do not be scared by that. Even if he scores, I reckon a 40, he'll make money. What? What? That's crazy. That is actually really surprising to me because he's priced so low. He's priced at 48 and he's averaging 50.7 even with those low scores. So yeah, I'd be picking him up. I wouldn't be scared by that break even at all. Yeah, he's the only one I would probably pick up. I know there's been some talk of Jackson Purdue being an option. I hate it. I think he was a trade a couple of weeks back, even with that bye schedule. He's going to have the bigger games, but he's easily going to have smaller games as well. His floor is so low as a non-kicking half. Like he'll have games where he scores 60, 70, just like we've seen with Fletcher Sharp and stuff like that. But he's not as distinguished as Fletcher Sharp. He doesn't have as many reps under his belt. I think he's a great talent. Like he looks awesome in real life, but yeah, I think the 30s are going to be mixed with the 70s, and he'll probably average it around 40, low 40s to 45 maybe. And it's just not worth it. Like you need to be making at least 10 points of value from your middies at this stage. I wouldn't be getting anyone in just for buy coverage when there's so many options out there now. So yeah, don't love it. He's probably going to score an 80 after I've just ranted about that. But yeah, I don't think he's a great pickup. Yeah, over the Dolphin side, I don't love anyone. Like I know Katoa and Herbie are going to be really popular, and I don't mind that at all. But they do have 2 buys left, so they have a buy in 18 and then 21. So like I know they're slightly further away, but there's a few teams that are coming into their last buy in either round 15 or 16 that like does make a difference. So yeah, I personally aren't looking to pick up either of those guys. It's not like they're underpriced either. Like I know they're good coverage for this round, but I think there's better options. Like instead of Herbie, you can get a Kiraz who only misses next round and then is smooth sailing for the rest. Even Tedesco in winger fullback, if you have like a Garrick who you can move up. Yeah, he's priced at 58. He's averaging 60.2, but that's with heaps of tries. So yeah, he's pretty much priced where he should be, potentially slightly overpriced, but I'm not going to say that anymore because yeah, he's been unstoppable. And then Katoa, like obviously he's probably a top 3 half now. Like there's probably no denying it at this stage, but he's priced at 57, averaging 58.3 in unsustainable, dare I say it, form. So yeah, like neither of them are underpriced. They're not playing 18. They have 2 buys to come. If you love them, like fair enough. They're not bad options, but I just think there's better options out there this week. So I personally am looking to avoid them and sort of anti-potting them, I guess, because yeah, at least Herbie's very highly owned. But yeah, I just couldn't be doing it this week personally, but obviously up to your own discretion. And then the Rabbitohs versus Bulldogs. Kiraz is at centre. I actually didn't look at this one too in depth, but I know I did quickly look for like 2 seconds. His centre stats were worse last year than his winger fullback stats, but I actually think he's going to be better at centre in general than winger fullback, winger, sorry, talking fantasy terms. Yeah, like he's only going to be playing this round and probably round 18 when Stephen Crichton's out. So yeah, it's not a massive concern either way, but just for this round only, if you are looking to pick him up, he averaged 45 at centre last year, and then 51 at fullback, winger. Sorry, golly gosh. But But let's break it down. Like he obviously averages more tackles at centre, which is good, like almost double. His tackle breaks are higher at centre than winger fullback. Oh my God, how many times am I going to do that? Then winger. His offloads are the same. His run meters are down by 30. But like that's pretty much the same. It's just his tries that are higher. So like obviously he's going to score more tries at winger, but his base stats are all going to be higher, and he hasn't been relying on tries this year to get his high scores. Like, yeah, he had the hat trick for 102, but he's only scored one other try apart from that, and is still pumping out 50s, 60s. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned personally that he's playing centre. I don't know if it's better, but I don't think it's worse by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, I'm certainly bringing him in an ideal world, even though he's playing centre, and not concerned at all, even given his historical data. So, yeah, really good trade in this week. Jacob Preston returns. I don't think most of us need him this week. I don't think he's a bad option. I advise you to check your minor buy rounds, like check all your buy planning, because the minor buy rounds are actually tricky. I'll get into mine soon. And yeah, round 16 and 19 are a little bit trickier for me, especially 16. And the Bulldogs do have a bye then. So it is their last bye of the season, but it is quite an important one if you do have a lot of Manly players as well. And who's the third team? Not Dolphins. Can't remember the third team off the top of my head, but yeah, they're fantasy relevant teams. So you do want to be looking at that. Even if you don't have a set buy planner, just calculate how many guys you have from those three teams. Because we've also got guys backing up from Origin, and we've been told that there'll be less players backing up given the Origin game is in Perth. So yeah, just got to be mindful of that round. I'll look at my team throughout this video and see where I'm at. But yeah, it's not looking great. I do have enough players, but yeah, I implore you to look at the round. Galvin number 6, yeah, with Matty Burton in Origin, or 18th man at least. Galvin's at number 6. It doesn't really give us any information. I'm kind of spewing from a fantasy perspective that Burton is named at 18th man because we can't see what they would have done. I don't know if Burton's moving to centre, but I just need to see it. I wouldn't be picking him up. Well, definitely wouldn't be picking up Burton now, but I'm kind of interested in Galvin. It's just I don't know where he's going to be playing. If he's going to be playing on the bench next week anyway, then absolutely no interest. But if he's starting at half, then I think he's a decent option. He's lost like 160k. And we know he's pretty good. He won't kick or anything like usual. Maybe like 150 kick meters and doesn't goal kick. So yeah, he does. But that's the same as it was last year, and he averaged like 48 or something. So I think he is worth a flyer. I can't imagine he goes back to the bench. I just would have liked confirmation. But I think he's going to start in the halves, if not next week, within a couple of weeks. So yeah, I think he's worth the risk given they play round 15 and 18. He's like 550k or something. So he's a lot cheaper. I am getting Cherry Evans this week instead of him because I know Cherry Evans has that potential to be a keeper, whereas I don't think Galvin will be. Like he's probably more undervalued than Cherry Evans, but I'm also picking up Jerome Hughes next week, who is again going to be a fringe keeper this year. And obviously he has more potential than Galvin to become a keeper, but I don't really want two guys in that same price bracket when I know at least one of them probably won't be making it to keeper status. So yeah, he's already 5 points undervalued from what he did at the Tigers, and yeah, averaged 52 last year actually. So yeah, he is really underpriced. I might actually consider it, but even though I just went on that rant saying why I don't want him, but yeah, I think he is a good option in a lot of teams, especially if you're keeping Haas and you maybe have kept Cleary as well. If you need that enabler that's a little bit cheaper than a keeper, but has the potential to potentially rise up to that, I think he's probably your best option. And then Jerome Hughes next week for sure. I think Galvin's probably in the same boat as like a Reece Walsh, but with better buy coverage. So yeah, that's about it. And the Bunnies forwards unchanged as well, which is good. Like we were expecting that for sure. But it's just good to see Koloamatangi prop, Aiken edge, and then Tallis Duncan edge as well. I think a lot of people will pick Tallis Duncan up this week. I think he's a good option. I wouldn't be like bursting your teams open to get him. Like obviously he's a lot cheaper than a lot of other guys, but if you do have better options out there, then yeah, I wouldn't be rushing to get Tallis Duncan in. I think, yeah, he's a good option. I've obviously had him for a couple of weeks and I've been pretty high on him. He might average 45 from here on out. There's no world where he's going to become a keeper. So yeah, he's certainly undervalued, but there's guys that are just as undervalued who have a potential to become keepers that we just mentioned. So yeah, you don't necessarily need him. You're probably not going to play him most weeks apart from around 15 and 18. I do prefer him to like an AFB, McInnes, guys who are like fringe 50-point guys in the mid position. Obviously, those two that I just named don't play round 18 either, and Tallis Duncan does. But we have so many 55, 60-plus mids this year that I just don't think it's worth picking up those fringe guys who you don't want by the end of the season, who don't cover both 15 and 18. So, yeah, definitely prefer Tallis Duncan over them. I have Tallis Duncan as my third mid, and I have no plans to get one in. Let's just quickly look at the mids that are available this round. Order by price, yeah. Like there's not many. AFB's the top at 54.6. Then McInnes, the two I mentioned. Then Curran, obviously no interest. And then like the list goes down. So Nafahu White, I'd probably honestly pick up Nafahu White before those other guys. But yeah, there's no absolute keepers in there. Yeah, sure, AFB is probably a decent 18th, 19th man come into season, but we know how many other ones there are. Like in most of our teams alone, Couchman, Kalamatangi, May, Aaron Clark, Payne Haas, that's 5 who are clearly above that. And then we need Yo, maybe Tino in. So yeah, like I don't see any interest in those guys. If they fit your buy planner, sure, like go ahead. But yeah, not for me at all. And I do prefer Tallis Duncan over there and then get other guns in other positions. So more than happy to run Tallis Duncan. If the Bunnies played like first or second as opposed to fifth, maybe I would consider bringing one of those guys in, but I can't loop him anyway, so I'm just going to ride or die with him. He served me well last week for the first round ever, so yeah, happy to go with him. And if you bring him in, yeah, sure, there's nothing wrong with that. I think he's a good option, but yeah, I wouldn't be rushing to bring him in. So that's about it from team lists. I can't believe that actually took 20 minutes. That's crazy. I guess I was talking about some fantasy relevant stuff in there, but yeah, was expecting that to be like 5 minutes. Anyway, onto my team, I've got 13 players this round. So on the surface, no loop options, but I certainly will be looping as much as I can. Just a quick reminder, I think we only get 4. You can only have 4 guys on the bench, either interchange or emergency, that you can take their score of. So just be mindful of that. I don't know if it's in the official rules. I touched on it yesterday. I just heard it from someone. Cannot remember for the life of me who told me that or where I saw it. I think it was on a video, so it might have been Jamie. But yeah, don't quote me on that because I don't want to get him in trouble if it's wrong information. But yeah, I'm going to take it as gospel anyway, whoever said it. So only 4 guys on your interchange or emergency that are playing. So if I had like Lawson, Hines, Lucas and Sharp down here, they're the only 4 I can take. I can't take 5 scores from here. So just be mindful of that. I will be definitely looping Lawson. I can't really loop Savala unless I get Jaden Campbell in and then leave him on the bench. Oh, I don't even know. I'll work it out. I'll go through another video with my loop options, but I think I'm pretty set of who I want. I actually am trading Payne Haas. I'm almost certain, unless maybe Lawson does well. I need to go over it, but yeah, in my eyes, trading Haas is actually a really good option for me. I don't think it's a great option for a lot of teams. I think you should probably keep him if you can, but yeah, it's very touch and go. If we had clarity around if he's backing up in round 16, that would be amazing. But for most teams, we're going to have a lot of options in round 16. I'll show it in my buy planner, but I already have 3 that average 55 plus, so don't necessarily need him there. I could play him over like a Hosking, I think, but that difference isn't massive. So obviously he misses round 15, 18, and 20, I believe it is, and then backing up in 2 others. So for me, if I can get a more buy-friendly guide like a Jaden Campbell, that works for me because he only misses round 18, and I'm set for round 18 for the most part anyway with my other trades. So I think getting him in makes a lot of sense. I can't get Kiraz and Campbell in this week unless I get a really cheap player in as well that I don't want. I'm guns or nothing this week. So yeah, I want Kiraz, I want Campbell. I don't have another way to do it unless I traded like a Hosking or Tarpany or someone like that. And that's something I don't want to do at all. I think Haas is the better option out of those guys to trade. So as long as mid-round results go the way I want them to, which doesn't necessarily mean my players score well, I actually kind of want like Lawson, Savala to score poorly, then I will be trading Haas out. I'm like 80% trading him out, which is a lot higher than I was last week. I was considering it last week. I was up and down until I did my video, and then I sort of generated a plan. Like, my videos help me as well, because if I'm not filming a video, I'm not going this in depth. So it actually does benefit me doing this sort of stuff. So yeah, that convinced me, or I convinced myself to keep him with the mind full that I might trade him this week. I thought it was like a 10-20% chance I'd trade him, but yeah, looking at it, I do want Campbell in. I was going to ride without him, not getting him in, but then, yeah, realised he only has one bye. Haas misses at least 3 over the next 6 rounds, so it does make sense. I did have a little bit of a rank slip, only literally 30 ranks, so it doesn't matter, but I didn't have a rank rise that I was hoping for. And I think I can have a really good round this week. So going to target that, going to target round 16, 17, 18. I don't need to make many trades, but I'll show you how many keepers I have in each round. And I can get a much stronger team overall by trading them out. I've already got 300k in the bank. I can just about make the 4 trades I want for 3 keepers and 1 fringe keeper. So yeah, I'll get into that now, but Haas is probably out the door for me, which is surprising, to be honest. I didn't think I'd do it. I didn't think I'd need the money to, but yeah, I'm going to do it, I think. Oh, not there. Where the heck am I going? Let me have a look. Okay, so this is my current, no, that's not it at all. This is my current team. I have changed it to add keepers as well. So yeah, keepers are pretty much, they're in blue, but they mean they're green, so it means they're playing. So yeah, obviously that's 13 for this round with 8 keepers. Then 10 keepers, 12, 6, 7. So obviously in round 8, 18 and 19, I'm really struggling for keepers. I've been harsh here. Like, I'm not including Garrick, Cook, Hosking as keepers, or even Munster, I guess. Well, obviously I'm trading him out. But yeah, I'm not considering those fringe guys keepers. So my team is stronger than it looks on paper. But yeah, round 18 and 19, I really need guns. And obviously Haas is missing 18 for sure. And then backing up in round 19, so happy to move on from him, I think. These are the 4 trades I've got in line this round and round 16. Round 16 is probably when I'm going to do Savala for Hughes. I do want to loop him this week in some degree, and yeah, obviously Hughes isn't playing anyway, so I'm going to do it. Savala has a low break even, I think. I think it's like 28 or something from memory. 24, so yeah, he shouldn't lose a lot of money. I can afford it either way, so I'll do that one next week, but I just wanted to bundle them together to see if it's worth it, because I'm definitely bringing in Hughes next week. So this week, Haas to Carraz, Munster to Campbell, Tamale to DCE, and then next week, Savala to Hughes. Leaves me with 40k left over. None of these guys are necessarily underpriced that I'm bringing in this week, like the top 3 trades, but they're all keepers who are buy-friendly. They all play this round. Cherry Evans and Kiraz play round 15 and 18, so that's good. I could do Tedesco over Cherry Evans. I do prefer Cherry, but also it helps me in round 18, I believe it is, where I don't have a backup half. So if I got in Tedesco, I'd be struggling for a half and I need to bring another one in. So yeah, bringing in big DCE, that makes a lot more sense for me there. That's why you do your buy planning, I guess, so you can plan ahead. And yeah, I'm in a much better position with those trades. This round alone, I'll have 2 extra players, so Garrick and Lawson, which is why it's going to depend on mid-round results. I think Garrick plays second. I'm either going to loop him or Sharp, potentially Sharp. I'll see. I'll do all my loop options later and work out how exactly I'm going to make these trades, like under what circumstances. But on paper, this is exactly what I want to do. Gets me to 2 loop options this week and 11 keepers. And my 2 non-keepers are Cook and Duncan. So Duncan, not even close to a keeper. Cook, pretty close. Like, he should get a 45-50, which is just below a keeper. And is pretty much the best hooker available this round as well. So yeah, should be in a really strong position, especially obviously with such a good team in general with 11 keepers. But then multiple loop options as well, when I know I won't be playing two of them. So yeah, really happy with that. It's actually technically three guys who won't be playing because I'll have Savala over Hughes. I just wanted to put it in here to make the most sense in my mind. But yeah, really, really strong position. If I don't make ranks this round, something has gone horribly wrong. So yeah, chances are I'll score like 400 now. But yeah, should be a good round for me. And trading Haas does facilitate that. There's also a world where I could potentially work some things around and not trade Haas this week and potentially do it next week, which like sounds worse. Like it sounds less valuable because then it's another round. He's not playing this round, and if you want to do it, you want to do it as early as possible. So probably not leaning towards that option, but there is a way I can get Campbell and Kiraz in if I trade Riley Smith. So don't love that either. So it's now or never, I think. If Haas is in my team by next week, I'm pretty sure I'll just keep him. Like there's no point really after that, unless he's not backing up next week or something. But yeah, would much rather get him out of my team this round and then live with the circumstances, or live with the consequences, sorry, of whatever happens next round and moving forward. Round 16, so yeah, gone up one. So I had 12 available plus 2 left over, so I couldn't play in Haas and Munster. And yeah, that goes to show, like, I had Terrell May, Koloamatangi and Tarpany. So Haas probably misses out there anyway. Yeah, I could have moved Koloamatangi down to Hosking and then Haas up, but it's like Haas or Hosking, so he only provides essentially like 15 points of value there, given I wouldn't be playing Hosking otherwise. So yeah, that negates a lot of his value as well. So it's essentially like he's missing round 16 either way, even if he does back up. So that went into a lot of my thinking as to why I'm going to trade him as well. And yeah, I can't remember if it's the case in round 19. I don't think so, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense for my team. And if you do have 3 plus, like at least 3 55 plus scorers in your mid position for round 16, I think that's another reason why you should trade Haas, because it does negate a lot of his value. But yeah, for round 16, up to 13 players, 2 guys on the bench, so Tallis Duncan and Riley Smith, who I don't necessarily want to play anyway. I can loop again. I don't know what the round looks like and who plays first and stuff like that. But yeah, I do have potential to loop both of them, which is good. I have so many guys out, so that makes life easy. It's kind of nerve-wracking, like whether I'll... Not nerve-wracking, but that's a bit dramatic. But yeah, there's always a chance I won't have 13 players to field, but that would mean I have to have like 3 plus injuries and suspensions. So yeah, not too much of a concern. None of these guys are backing up from Origin, which is good. Otherwise they'd be in yellow. So all of them are just on a bye. So I actually left with 0 Origin players, which is pretty crazy, considering Fermor missed out. So yeah, not too concerned. I think I should manage to get 13 either way. Even if someone gets injured, it probably... Sorry, my fiance was yelling out to me. Cannot remember for the life of me what I was saying, but I think it was something like I should be able to get to Duncan or Riley Smith. And then I can round trades as well. If I need to, I can. He's probably the only one I'd like to trade, potentially Hosking, and then move Koloamatangi down, and then Tallis Duncan up. But yeah, I think I'm pretty trades. In a perfect world, I can if I want to, but I've got 11 keepers there as well. So that's pretty close to a full strength squad, which is good. Jerome Hughes and Hosking are my only 2 other non-keepers, and they're pretty damn close. Like Hughes is probably a 50-point guy now, Hosking around 45 to 50. If they're my 2, I'm doing something right, even though it is easier. Yeah, you can see like I have so many keepers out. Like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 keepers out, and only 3 teams have buys, because they are the buy-friendly teams that do have that do miss that round. So yeah, just look at your buy planner, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat for 16 and 19 especially. 19th not as much of a concern, because we can obviously make a few trades before then, and we know we're getting another 8 trades in round 20. But yeah, just don't focus too much on the major buy rounds without focusing on the minor ones as well. Then round 17. Yeah, so I've gone from having 2 guys out in Savala and Tamale to 0 guys out. Not necessarily ideal. I do like to have one or two as loop options. I think it was round 14 as well. I only had one guy out, I think Savala was it, which is a bit annoying because I couldn't loop. I think I still made ranks, but it wouldn't have been as good as I could have if I had a few more loop options. So I moved up slightly. Oh, golly, what am I doing? It was literally round 14. Oh, I'm an idiot. It was round 14 this round, wasn't it? Never mind. These rounds are all a blur now. I was like, what's going on there? But yeah, that makes sense. Ignore that. But yeah, I do like having more loop options available. I mean, chances are someone's going to be injured, right? So I'm not concerned too much. I don't want anyone to get injured, but I would like to have a loop option. So getting Tedesco over Cherry Evans would have helped there, but it's not worth having a looper if it means I have to make a trade for someone suboptimal in round 18 if I didn't have a half available. So yeah, pretty happy to go Cherry. I think he's more underpriced than Tedesco as well. So I'd much rather do that in terms of my team, but I do think Teddy's a good option as well. I'm also mindful that getting Tedesco, Kiraz and Campbell in is a bit overkill for winger fullback, even though I do need some this week. You can see like none of these guys I'm trading in are anywhere close to forwards. So I assume a lot of teams are like that, where it is a bit overkill in the forward pack. Like we do have most of the big guys as well, especially with Aaron Clark, who can fill in at mid as well. It gives us so much flexibility. So yeah, not concerned with any of that at the moment. I will have to pick one up at some stage, assuming someone gets injured in the near term. But yeah, I'll cross that bridge as it comes. So round 17 is all sweet. I've got 14 keepers. So yeah, after this, I'll have 14 keepers in my team, which I think is a pretty strong spot. It leaves room to pick up one or two more before I get Cleary, Yo, and Haas back in. So, yeah, not concerned about that. I can probably get two underpriced guys like Jerome Hughes is. I can probably get someone like a Galvin, Reece Walsh, hopefully mid instead, because I am overkilling in my backs now. But yeah, there's always cheaper guys available that you can pick up as you go. So I'll be looking towards those two because I know they'll be my 18th, 19th men moving forward. Because I haven't even considered Hughes a keeper, and there's every chance he is. So yeah, in a really good spot, I think, if I do trade Haas. Round 18, up to 12 already, which is really good, plus two guys that I can't play due to position. So that's actually really good. I'm not playing Hosking, which is a good sign for me that it means I can move off him whenever I'm comfortable. I don't think he's a end of season keeper. I don't need to do it this round. I'll give him another round in round 16 and then assess from there. But knowing I don't necessarily need him in round 18 at the moment, obviously, again, injury dependent and so much changes before then. But at this stage, he's not in my plan. So he is just, I can trade him out if I want to. He is dispendable. So yeah, I'll be looking to get off him if I need to as well. And then Tallis Duncan, he would have peaked by then, so I can probably look to move off him as well. But it leaves me with 8 keepers, which is 2 better than what it was. Obviously, that was going to be our worst round. There's plenty of time before then to make some fringe moves. I'll have someone like a Riley Smith who will be gone before then. He's probably the only one on the chopping block, maybe a Nico Hines. If Hughes does start to score 55 pluses and becomes a keeper, then Hines is definitely more expendable. So we'll see what we can do there, but it's such a long way away and I'm already in such a good position after these trades. So yeah, ideally I am trading Haas. Then round 19, was in a little bit of trouble, to be honest. Obviously it's so far away, but it was looking like a very hard round for me, but not anymore. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. I've got 12 plus Fermor. I doubt he plays Origin anyway, but maybe if Queensland get dominated again, they move him back in for the decider. So I put him as backing up from Origin just in case. But if he plays, I've already got 13, and then one backup in Damien Cook, who will most likely be playing, and then Riley Smith is out of the team, maybe for a mid. So yeah, plenty of options there. Trading Haas works out for me. I need his money for this round to get in these keepers, and I think that is worth it for my team. It makes my overall bye round squad so much stronger. And yeah, I don't think it's a round to pick up mid-rangers unless they are guys that have potential to become keepers and are buy-friendly. So for me, that's what works. I know what I need to do. These are the guys that I will be trading at one point during probably between round 16 and 19, maybe a little bit after. Probably more like 18 or 19. They're non-keepers that can't be traded, so yeah, they're all buy-friendly guys. I'll move off them when I can. Ruben Garrick is potentially on the chopping block next week, given I'm bringing in so many backs and I don't consider him a keeper. It would mean I have another option for next week as well. But yeah, I won't have too much flexibility to move up unless I go Riley Smith down to like a Latu Fainu and then Garrick up to any mid I want pretty much. But I guess that would be Haas. So yeah, those moves will probably be a bit later down the track. But I know what I want to do. Hughes is definitely coming in next week. I do want to target Preston in round 17 because I need an edge. If I don't want to play, if I want to move Lucas down to centre and then not play Lawson, and then Preston moves straight in there, so the Bulldogs won't have any buys after that. So yeah, that's really good. These are the guys I need for sure, and most of them are winger fullbacks that I'm getting in this week or halves. So I'm pretty much covered after this week's trades, assuming everything goes to plan. A while back, I did look at the ideal major buy round teams. So round 15, it looked like it was going to be 799. I haven't updated this too much. Like obviously, KL Ero's out and stuff like that. These averages would have changed. Max King's obviously in Origin. But yeah, if we can assume a target score is around 800, my team, where the heck did I put it? There you go. My team was on track for 624 prior to those trades, so not too far off the mark, I guess, at 170 points. Well, obviously, I'm not playing Lawson. You can move that to Kiraz for another 30 points. You can change Garrick to Campbell for another 15 points, so that's 45 on top. And then one of my other two trades, other one, Cherry Evans for Savala for another 20 points. So yeah, that's already another 65 points and it puts me up about 690, 700. So yeah, in a really strong position, should score over 700 this round with my loop options. So yeah, I think it'll be a good round. I should be back in the top 2,000 after this. But obviously things don't always go to plan in fantasy. I'm sure someone will get injured in like the first minute that's not too owned, like Nico Hines or something like that. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm excited for this round. I have been, after I originally coming into the buy rounds, I was targeting round 12, but then all my loop options did so well, which kind of sucked because I couldn't make any mid-round trades. So yeah, these guys crushed it, and I ended up not making any trades in round 12 when I had 4 planned. So I ended up making a few ranks because I ended up scoring really well because they scored well, which is usually a good thing. But I wanted to target that as a dominant round. I'm kind of targeting anywhere between round 15 and 18 now. I don't have a set plan, but the plan is getting off Haas will mean I'm better every round because I have so many better options. So yeah, excited to do that. It might not eventuate because Lawson might come out and bang out a 60 and Savala might score a 60 or something as well. So you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, they wouldn't be terrible things to happen for my team, but there is a world where I stay with Haas, but yeah, I'd say it's about 80% chance he's gone and Campbell's coming in instead. So that's my team. I probably won't go into my buy plan anymore unless you guys are desperate to see it, but I've just talked about myself for 20 minutes, so you probably don't care anymore if you even cared to begin with. So yeah, probably won't talk about my buy planner, but I will talk about my loop options. It's not going to look anything like this. I'll have Lawson, Savala, probably Sharp, Lucas on the bench, then go from there. But I'll talk about that probably on Thursday when I can sit down and look at it desperately. I'll look at who's playing first and stuff like that. It does get a bit technical, especially in these rounds of different intricate looping options. So yeah, I'll get a video out on that if you guys want to see that, and then we'll move from there. We'll have our trade videos, sells, holds, all that jazz. But I have covered a lot of that in this video anyway. I don't think it's a good round to pick up mid-ranges. There is a couple of exceptions like Tallis Duncan and stuff like that. But yeah, I think keepers or nothing this round. Do not necessarily trade Haas. Look at your buy planner. And yeah, go from there. We'll see you next time, guys. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe Thursday. Until then, bye.